Sun in PvZ2 is just a weird concept. It is in the PvZ in general, but I'm specifically doing this in PvZ2. Why do sunflowers give you sun? Why does planting plants involve sun? I get they photosynthesize or whatever, but that's still a weird concept. Why do plants... Also, there's zero-cost plants. How do sun costs get determined outside of game balancing? Like, really? I think like 3 people asked this, but as I really don't want controversial game designs, I will beat this game without sun. Basically only using zero-cost plants. The rules are extremely simple. You only use zero sun cost plants. We skip conveyors and locked and loaded because those are lame and they force us plants that may not cost zero sun, or they cost zero sun in the case of conveyor belts. Also, we're not allowed to spend any coins on power-ups because that's stupid. We aren't allowed to boost plants because then we get free win buttons. And I'm gonna try to use Impair as little as possible. And Solar Sage to a lesser degree, but you'll see why. You'll see why I'm kinda banning the Cediums. Semi. Oh, and also no mints. There's literally a video about beating the game with only mints. I'm not allowing those. Under any circumstance. With the intro out of the way, let's get introduced to our gang of plants. Iceberg Lettuce, Gravebuster, Imitator, as long as we use him with sun cost plants, Puff-Shroom, the best plant, Stalia, who is just kind of average, the best plant in the game, Goldbloom, the actual best plant in the game, Impair, and Solar Sage, who is just kind of a combination of the 2 broken plants. Also, something else I wanted to mention because it's kind of funny. I hacked in Puff-Shroom before you can choose your seeds and it worked somehow. I was fully expecting the game to crash, but that's subverting my expectations. At least it proves to me that this game is actually kinda stable and not just an unbalanced piece of crap. Yet somehow Day 5 replaces Puff-Shroom with Bloomerang. Either Day 5 is a locked and loaded, or the game is just in this weirdly semi-state of it accepted Puff-Shroom while it didn't fill up a seed slot for something. And I think that's the only good explanation, because the other explanation would be just bad programming, which I don't think it can be a valid argument here. Skipping the Gargantua level, well, I actually completely forgot Gravebuster is free in this game. Though, you unlock him pretty early on in AE, so we get him soon anyway. Plus, he's not gonna return until, like, Dark Ages. Day 8 is where I introduce my absolutely perfect strategy. This is peak strategy in this video game. This level is also a good introduction to how Puff-Shrooms interact with zombies. So basically, Explorer very bad, and then Raw and Tomb Raider are kinda fine because Raw Zombie, he just stops a lot, and Tomb Raider can be completely countered by Puff-Shrooms, since we can block the spots where his graves land. It goes without saying that plant food is extremely valuable in this game, especially when Puff-Shrooms literally depend on plant foods to stay alive. And also, you should really use your iceberg lettuces with caution and when to use your plant food, because explorers can be countered pretty well by one Puff-Shroom, but Sarcophagus, who will appear a bit later, he doesn't. He needs 2 Puff-Shrooms, or he needs Iceberg to be knocked down. After we get a potion to look a bit more like in the Wild West, we have a locked and loaded level, which we skip. Day 12 introduces a sarcophagus zombie who really, thanks to Iceberg, really is kind of nullified, though he is. That's not to say he's in the threat. I mean, we lost all our lawnmowers on the intro level to this guy. When you only have Puff-Shroom's, mole colonies barely do anything, they just make waves go by a bit faster. And you already have an offensive push late game, so that barely matters. I think I'll kinda skip more of the same levels because they are really boring. Unless they introduce something or have anything of nowhere, I'll mention them. But this one just doesn't. This is until day 15 is a bit more spammy, and I think that's the general norm. The more sunflowers are expected, the spammier the level gets. And I think that will be a huge issue with Lost City, but Lost City has a whole other complication. The main problem is that I don't know if Excavator is affected by Impair. He eats with his shovel, so I think not, but he's not usually eating, so maybe? I don't know, but I really don't want to rely on Solar Sage. Solar Sage just seems like a terrible pick for a zombie that gets spammed. Why do these levels perfectly scale as Puff-Shroom? I just don't get it. He isn't even supposed to be here. Just goes to show how much vanilla wastes these. I like this last time because it perfectly gets to show that how broken Impair is. The two last stands in this world, I could beat with only Impair, which is insane. He basically turns every tanky zombie into an imp, so that means he's basically freebies for Puff-Shrooms. He stuns every zombie in his lane if eaten by an imp. Is just broken. Beyond belief. And he has a 5 seconds recharge. Who programmed this game? Who designed it? Skipping day 19, this level is also nothing. Like, I think Explorer killed me once, but I mean, that was just playing bad. Oh, and by the way, I bring some plants as filler because, I mean, we can just beat levels with only 2 plants. The others are just fillers that I put there for the fun. Like I put Goldblum because he literally does nothing. A free sun producer in a 0 sun cost challenge. Well, day 22 is extremely mid. Day 23 is certainly not, because it introduces the first Gargantua outside of a conveyor belt. Even though it's just on the final wave, so we can just use mowers. So, in general, Gargantua is kinda hard countered by 0 sun cost plants, ironically, because Puff-Shroom has an insanely fast recharge and Iceberg completely freezes him. That's kind of a combo that just completely ruins him. And also Stalia. Since I already told you that day 24 is possible and day 25 is a Zombots battle in a conveyor belt, we kinda reached the end of the video. This really shouldn't have taken that long. It was really me just procrastinating and having troubles in life that really were a bit too money. But, I mean, I hope it turned out a fine video. I'm kinda trying to make a bit more edits. And really attempting more comedy, which, honest to God, wasn't really that much present in my last videos. Or, I guess my videos in general, because I'm kinda new on this whole YouTube thing. Which is really just passion. What else am I supposed to say? Like and subscribe? Nah, I gotta say something else. I mean, I'm gonna also say like and subscribe. But also I'm gonna say this. I'm making a PvZ 2 mod called PvZ A Blast from the Past. It mainly features PvZ 1 plants in the context of PvZ too, kinda. And basically reusing geniums and premiums from the base game and turning them into actual adventure plants. And no other plants because they just ruin the fun, and also it's kind of balancing less plants, which is way easier. And that's kind of the main gimmick. Also, there are some counters that you might not expect, like Spike with too many zombies that to the almost every special zombie in ancient Egypt that stops, which is kind of insane that so many AE zombies stop in place. Also, Jalapeno counters Octo Zombie, something you probably already know of, but I'm gonna highlight some of these things. Also, the broken premiums, yeah, those are gonna be not unlockable, but they will be in the game. For real though, this was just a stupid idea that popped up in my head and I felt like doing. So don't expect the mods to come out pretty soon. That's just no. But I am gonna show the progress of the worlds on my YouTube channel, and also kind of a playthrough.